Hi everyone, I'm Tovah Fenske. Welcome to today's class. We're going to be doing a really nice, gentle yin practice. So I'll get everyone to start by sitting comfortably. I like to sit on a yoga block, just to lift my hips a little bit, but whatever works for you, whether that's kneeling, sitting cross-legged, legs stretched out, just get comfortable here. Closing your eyes. And let yourself start to breathe more deeply. Maybe just relax your head, bow your chin a little bit. And as you start to deepen your breath, begin to quiet your mind. Using your breath as your focus, or if you need something else to focus on, find one focal point, something positive, and channel all of your energy to think about that one thing, helping your mind move towards stillness. Letting go of any muscular tightness or tension that you're feeling in your body. Notice if you're squeezing or you're holding or you're gripping in any places. Being mindful that we want to keep breathing deeply. Never forgetting about our breath in the yoga practice. Your breath really is of the utmost importance. And even when we're just breathing, that's yoga. So don't forget about your breath. We're going to transition out of seating to come into a lying posture called lying bound angle. So you may just want to adjust your props, if you have some yoga props, to set yourself up so that you can have a cushion for your head, and then if you have a bolster or a couple of towels rolled up nice and tight, can make a good makeshift yoga bolster. If you have a long bolster, you probably won't need something else underneath your head, but you'll decide once you get there. So lying on your back, with your bum near the bottom of the bolster, taking a lie back, making sure that your back is supported and then your head has somewhere to rest. As you put the soles of your feet together, let your knees open wide. Let your chest and shoulders open over the bolster, and if this feels like it's too much across your chest and shoulders, then come on off the bolster and do this posture right from the floor. Or if you don't have something to put underneath your back, straight on your mat is always a fine option here. Your hands can rest on your tummy, which can be great for encouraging you to breathe deeper, if that's somewhere you struggle. They can rest down by your sides, just giving you a nice amount of chest and shoulder opening. Or you can start to move your arms into a cactus position, where you're bringing your arm back like a 90-degree position. But make sure that it's not too intense for you. And that's going to be different based on everybody's body. Finding a place that you're comfortable here, and then closing your eyes. And breathing. Breathe deep into your belly. And then drawing that whole breath around your whole torso. Pulling the breath down to your fingers and down to your toes. You want to ensure that you're not feeling overly challenged here. About a 7 out of 10 is perfect. Because in Yin, we need to stay in the posture a little bit longer in order to let all of the connective tissues and your fascia release more deeply. And those tissues take a little bit more time. So we need to go slow, we need to be gentle. Good, and let's begin to come out of lying bound angle, bringing your knees to close, helping with your hands if you like. Bring your arms a little closer to the center of your body. And just rest either lying here with your knees bent or stretch your legs all the way out. Taking a couple of gentle breaths here. And then slowly coming back to seated. Just take your time. Along the way, making any movements that you need to feel comfortable. As we get ready to move into our second posture of the day, which is shoelace pose, if you do have a bolster or a small pillow or cushion, it can be really great for this posture, just to stick it underneath the back edge of your bum, whereby you're sitting a little bit on the cushion and a little bit off the cushion. So your buttocks or your cheeks are really near the edge here. You're gonna stretch one leg out and you're gonna cross the opposite leg over, and you're gonna bring it as far over as your body will allow. And this can look really different from person to person. So it might be way over with the knee stacking over the knee. It might be backed off somewhere looking like this, more like a finger four. So don't worry so much about where your position is, just bring it as far over as is comfortable for you. And then you want to let the knee fold forward as much as it will. You can hang on to this crossed over foot to keep it there. Pull your toes back towards your shins. And then I want you to just gently bow your chin here. So we're stretching through the fascia or the connective tissue that goes from the heel of the front foot all the way up across the leg, the hamstrings, the lower back, the shoulders, and the neck when we bow our head here. So getting a really big stretch across the back fascial body. If you feel you can go deeper here, you start to lean forward more. And you'll notice if you relax the front toes a little bit, that makes the stretch a little bit easier. Likewise, if you lift your head, it takes some of the stretch away. But it's really nice to try to keep the toes pulled back a good amount, to bow your chin. And if you need to make it easier, just come a little bit higher in the stretch instead. And this is called shoelace pose. settling in here. As we stay here, you may find that you might be able to drift down a little bit further as things start to relax, maybe a little bit more. Staying here just a few more breaths. If you felt like you might be able to go a little bit deeper for the last couple of breaths here, go ahead and sink down. If you don't feel that way, don't feel pressured to go deeper. Good, and let's slowly come on back up to the top. Uncrossing your legs. And just aiming to be still for a couple of breaths here. It might feel nice for you to just lean back, open up the chest a little bit from having been folded forward. Good, and now just give your legs a little shake, a little wiggle here. As we move on to the opposite side, so you're going to cross the other leg over, draw the toes back, sit up nice and tall, bow your chin, and this might be enough of a stretch for you just right here. You might not need to fold forward any amount, and that's perfectly normal. So just find your body's edge. That place where your tissues say, okay, that's enough, I feel that a little bit. And then just take 1 or 2 steps back from that edge. Because as we stay here a little bit longer, it can sometimes feel more difficult. So what your edge might be, if I told you we were only going to hold the posture for 20 seconds, might be totally different than if I'm telling you we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. And we are going to stay here for a couple of minutes, so go easy. You can always go deeper as time progresses. Check-in, how is your body feeling? If it feels like it's too much, back off a little bit. If it feels just Perfect, stay there. And if you feel like you might be able to go a little bit deeper, but still keep it gentle, ease yourself a little farther forward. And how is your mind doing with being quiet? For many people, that's the hardest part of this practice. It's really gaining control of your mind and being able to slow it down, to shut out the outside world, to turn off your to-do lists, to stop fidgeting. And if those are things that you notice you have problems with, don't shy away from this practice. Know that you probably need this slow practice more than a more vigorous yoga practice. It'll take time and patience and practice, but slowly over time, you will be able to find more quietness within your mind. Just don't give up on yourself. Of shoelace pose, gently uncrossing. And again, maybe just taking a really nice, gentle lean back. Taking a few strong, deep breaths here. Perfect. And give your legs a little move. Maybe you want to do a little windshield wipering, just wriggling around a little bit. Perfect. And we're going to come into our last posture of the class, which is pigeon pose. So I'm going to show you just a different way to get into pigeon today. Often we do it from downward facing dog, which is always an excellent way to get into pigeon, but maybe it's not for everybody, or just as a way to do it a little bit differently. Just sitting like this, and I'm going to turn sideways so that I'm going to be straight on my mat, but just sitting like this, and then all you're going to do is just walk your back leg back. And see how my front leg is already in the pigeon position. So getting into pigeon that way, or via downward facing dog. Spending a few breaths maybe at the top. This is an enjoyable place for you. Settling at the bottom whenever you're ready. And that might mean taking a proper cushion, tucking it underneath your forehead or your chest or both. Just a few more breaths. Sending your breath to any place that might feel a little bit tight for you. Making sure your body stays feeling relaxed. Back our way out of pigeon the same way that we got in. So again, this might just be another way for you to come out of pigeon. All you're going to do is you're just going to tip to the side and let your buttocks come to your mat, and then bring your legs back together. And we can rest here in child's pose for a couple of breaths, just bringing our forehead down. Wonderful. And then we're going to move into pigeon on that opposite side. So we're going to do the same thing, and I'll show you from the front. So I have one leg crossed in the front and one leg just tucked behind. I'm going to turn myself sideways so that I'm the right direction on my mat, probably how you already are. So my front leg is already in my pigeon position. And then I'm just going to slide and walk my back leg back. As far as feels comfortable, check behind you to make sure that it's going straight back. Spending a couple of breaths in the top, if you like, or coming back down to the bottom. And as you progress in working in your home practice, if you notice from one side to the other that there's a fairly big difference between how easy it feels or how far you can get into a posture, not just with pigeon, with any of the postures, you may decide to either pause the video and spend a little bit more time in the side that's not so great, or repeat that side one additional time. Or you could always do it at the end of the day's practice as well, to help bring better balance to your body. Gently making your way out of pigeon pose. Just taking your time. Again, to come out the way we came in, tipping so that your buttocks comes to the side, and then bring your legs back together. And again, coming into resting child's pose here for a few breaths. And then slowly coming back to seated. For today's practice, I'm going to encourage you to set a timer if you're on a time schedule, and move into Savasana yourself, spending at least 5 minutes there. But if you have more time, definitely try to spend more time. And if you're not on a time crunch, don't set a timer. Go into Savasana and let your body bring you out when it's ready. Thank you so much for joining my practice today. Namaste.